Good morning. It's Tuesday, January 28th. Here's what we're working on this morning. There's been another jewelry store smash and grab robbery, this time in Burlington.
A teen has died in a rollover crash near Thorold.
And on Sportsline, Edmonton's Connor McDavid makes his return to the ice and sport sheets. Good morning. Good morning, Annette. Good morning, Brian. A chilly one this morning and a tough time getting into work. I don't know about you guys, but the roads were covered in snow and it was certainly slippery.
Very slippery. Mm-hmm. Yes. Very slippery this morning.
Yeah, we had that blast of snow go through the overnight hours and anywhere from 2 to 4 to 5 centimeters generally around the horseshoe. Particularly the suburban streets, the secondary roads further afield into the country. The main routes, not too bad, just wet, but yeah, we couldn't have a lot of slippery roads around the area this morning. So once again, winter driving skills, you're going to need that. You're going to need that not only this morning, but tomorrow morning as well, because we could get another 2 to 4 centimeters of snow overnight. The winds yesterday, thankfully, they've died off a fair bit. They're still fairly strong this morning, gusting between 30 and 40 kilometers an hour. But yesterday we had wind gusts, well, in Hamilton, 85 kilometers an hour. We had wind gusts and we got to -1. Today we're sitting at -5 to start. We're going to climb to -3, so a little chillier today. But then a warm front tonight brings in that blast of snow and temperatures go up overnight. And we'll explain all of that coming up. Checking traffic, 403 Waterdown Road. As usual, we start with that camera. That's our camera. Nothing to see right there. Just a few MTO traffic cameras. See if there's anything happening at Nikola Tesla Boulevard, which is no, nothing going on there. Top of the Skyway Bridge looks good. Third line, a little bit busy here. So yeah, be careful on the roads this morning. Slippery, snow covered in a lot of areas. Just drive carefully. Weather and traffic coming up in detail right now. The news.
Thanks, Brian. Halton police are looking for 3 suspects after another smash and grab robbery at a Burlington jewelry store. Simone Gavros joins us live from Burlington Center Mall with the details. Simone.
Kelly, this happened at Arrain Jewelers last night around 6 p.m. here on Guelph Line. Halton police say that the 3 suspects were wearing dark clothing and they stole an unknown amount of jewelry before they fled the scene. Now, this incident is very similar to a number of other brazen jewelry store robberies we've been seeing around our area. This one happened here yesterday, last night, and police had the store blocked off with police tape as they investigated. Shattered glass can be seen across the floor from the display cases being smashed. Police say no injuries were reported and no arrests have been made, and the investigation is still ongoing. Now, this isn't the first smash and grab incident Halton police are investigating this month. Back on January 4th, police were called to a robbery at Charm Diamond Center jewelry store at Mapleview Mall. Multiple suspects were wearing face coverings. They smashed display cases and then fled the scene. The investigation there is still ongoing. Meantime, in Grimsby, Niagara Regional Police continue to look for about 6 to 7 suspects responsible for this robbery on January 18th at Harmony Jewelers. And the investigation is ongoing for the smash and grab at Griffin Jewelry inside the Penn Center in St. Catharines. That happened on January 16th, and 5 suspects remain outstanding there. Now, so far, there have been at least 4 smash and grabs this month alone across our region. I reached out to Halton Police this morning for more details about this ongoing investigation. For now, Annette, back over to you.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, a 16-year-old has died following a crash near Thorold last night. Niagara police believe weather conditions, including high winds and drifting snow, were a factor. 2 vehicles crashed shortly after 6:30 on Thorold Stone Road between Beechwood and Town Line Roads. One of the vehicles rolled over, killing the 16-year-old girl who was driving. The other driver was taken to hospital as a precaution.
Staying in Niagara, a man in his 70s is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after being hit by a vehicle last night. It happened just before 7 p.m. at Dorchester and McLeod Roads in Niagara Falls. Police say the driver remained on scene and charges are under investigation.
Norfolk OPP are going to be holding a news conference later this morning, after making 2 arrests in a series of arsons. There have been 14 suspicious fires in and around Norfolk County since November. Emergency crews were called to the latest fire around 10:30 last night at a barn on Lynn Valley Road. About 15 minutes later, officers stopped a pickup truck on Concession 12 Townsend that matched the description of a truck that was seen at a suspicious fire in November. Now, police have arrested 2 men from Norfolk County. 30-year-old Matthew Smith is charged with 11 counts of arson causing damage to property, as well as failing to comply with a probation order. And 43-year-old Chad Reimer is charged with 11 counts of arson as well. Reimer is also facing a charge of impaired driving.
Six Nations police are looking into a possible connection between a shooting and a fire at a popular restaurant in Ohsweken. Police were called to the Burger Barn early Saturday morning after a call for shots being fired at the building. They say they did find some minor damage to the exterior. Then, early Monday morning, police responded to a structure fire, which is being treated as suspicious. There are no reports of injuries related to either incident.
We're learning more about the apartment fire that killed 3 people in Hamilton on Sunday. Police say the 2 children who died were 21 months old and 3 years old. They say they were in the bedroom of a first-floor apartment unit where the fire started. 4 other people escaped from that apartment. The 3rd victim who died was a 52-year-old man with no connection to the children. Police say there's no indication this fire is suspicious. Tenants from the building say that thick black smoke had covered the area within seconds of the fire alarm going off.
10th floor, I could see it was dense, covered the stairs are covered in dense smoke. I tried to go to 9th floor and I couldn't breathe there.
It was just smoke, black smoke. You can't see where you're going. There are no lights, no sprinklers. You're inhaling it, and it's pitch black. That's terrible. It's a stairwell to death, I feel.
Now, the fire marshal says it's going to take days to determine the cause of that fire.
All right, this just in, CHCH News has learned that the Ford government is moving forward with plans to build the Grimsby GO station. Ontario's transportation minister is set to make the announcement this morning. The province, Metrolinx, the town of Grimsby, and the Niagara region are collaborating to advance the project as part of the Niagara GO Extension Initiative. This comes as Premier Doug Ford is set to meet with the Lieutenant Governor today to call an election on February 27th. The official call is expected tomorrow, and in the meantime, the Ford government has made a dozen last-second spending announcements. The PCs unveiled additional investments into transportation, energy, and health care yesterday. That includes $1.8 billion to ensure every Ontarian has a family doctor. Opposition leaders are calling out the Ford government for calling an election amid tariff threats from the U.S.
But don't you think they've had 7 years to act, 7 years that have been squandered, 2.5 million people without a family doctor?
He has a government that is under RCMP criminal investigation right now, and he thinks he can race to the polls and have people forget that. I don't think people are going to forget that.
Ford said he will maintain his duties as premier during the election. One, the Financial Accountability Office says will cost $175 million. Yesterday, NDP leader Merritt Stiles also promised to make the 407 highway toll-free should she become the next premier.
In sports, the Toronto Raptors were looking for their first 4-game win streak in almost 2 years as they hosted the New Orleans Pelicans.
Just a bundle of injuries has derailed their season. Oh! Hurdle finds RJ as Barrett gets behind.
RJ Barrett scored 17 points for the Raptors. Soccer legend Christine St. Clair was watching the game. She got a jersey with 190 or 190 on it. That's the number of goals that she scored for Canada during her career. She was also wearing sweats with the name of Toronto's WNBA team on it, the Tempo. Back to the game. Scotty Barnes had 21 points and 11 rebounds as the Raptors beat the Pelicans 113-104, and that is their 4th win in a row.
It was a big night in Edmonton as Captain Connor McDavid returned to the lineup after a 3-game suspension for cross-checking Vancouver's Connor Garland last week. And McDavid made an impact right away.
On tour, trying to float one down low, intercepted by Ekholm. Cleared to Draisaitl, back to McDavid, bearing down, shooting and a save ended. Stumped home. Connor McDavid back in the lineup, back on the score sheet.
That tied the game at 2. Then Hamilton's very own Darnell Nurse with a long pass to a wide open Corey Perry. He scores. That is your game-winning goal. Edmonton wins 4-2.
Off the ice, the Ottawa Senators have apologized to fans after the team's mascot, Spartacat, wore a split jersey that had the Ottawa Senators logo and the one-time NHL team, the Quebec Nordiques. This is a picture posted on social media. Earlier in the day, team owner Michael Andlauer announced that the Senators would be playing 2 games in Quebec City next fall. He also said he would like the team to play regular season games there at some point. Ottawa fans were quick to post their outrage and concern that their team could be moving. Team president Cyril Leader had to apologize, posting, "Sens fans, for clarity, the team is not moving, period. Putting our beloved Sparty in a Sens Nords jersey was wrong. Today was a good reminder that our logo is sacred. As CEO, I own this one." The Senators are working to close a deal with the City of Ottawa to get a new arena.
Okay, 6:11, let's get going here. 28th morning of January. We've had some snow throughout the overnight hours, still coming down lightly in a lot of areas, so be really careful on the roads. We don't really have anything to show you on the roads, not much congestion. 403 and Waterdown Road, that's our camera, that's doing okay at the moment. We'll start in St. Catharines, go to some MTO traffic cameras. Nothing here at the QEW at Niagara Street. Here's the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. Yeah, brake lights coming on already early there. Third line still looks good. Lorne Park through Mississauga. 403 at Burnhamthorpe. There you can see how slick the roads look. So yeah, slippery roads this morning. Give yourself a little, I love it when they do that. A little vertigo there for you the first thing in the morning. All right, let's get to our temperature right now. Our temperature has just fallen, not by 1, but by a couple of degrees. So colder air here. That cold front went through last night. That's what gave us the blast of snow. So -7 right now. The winds still fairly strong, but nowhere near as strong as they were yesterday. Winds now northwest 23 to 32, make it feel like -14. So it's a cold start. It's a mostly cloudy start. For school today, we're going to climb to -3, which is a little shy of what we got to yesterday. It's going to be mostly cloudy throughout the day. Then we're going to get a little blast of snow. It'll start later in the afternoon. That's a look at the snow that came across us last night. This is a 6-hour loop. As you can see, it keeps repeating. The blast of the snow has gone to the south, and that's along with the cold front that went through. And that is what triggered those winds yesterday, 85 kilometers an hour in Hamilton. Now we have a warm front with another blast of snow approaching. That warm front will go through overnight tonight. And that's going to push our temperatures up throughout the overnight hours, and then tomorrow the temperatures will fall during the day. But today we're going to climb to, well, -1 to -5 for Niagara, -3, still chilly for Mississauga and Milton, -6. But temperatures today a little bit chillier than they were yesterday. Tonight there's that 2 to 4 centimeters of snow once again. But look at the temperatures tonight. +1, 2, and 3 by tomorrow morning. So the milder air is going to push in. And then tomorrow, the chillier air pushes in. We'll get another 2 to 4 centimeters, but temperatures fall during the day, anywhere -3 to -5, even -6 degrees, -7 for Guelph and Kitchener. But yeah, blast of snow tonight and during the day tomorrow. So out the door, 28th of January, mostly cloudy. It's still fairly windy, but as I said, nowhere near as windy as it was yesterday. Temperature right now, -7. Long range coming up. Annette, Kelly.
Thank you, Brian. Coming up after the break, we'll say good morning to Louis Butko with a preview of what's to come on Chit Chat. And the tech sector took a big hit after a new Chinese AI app was announced. Let's say good morning to Louis Butko now, who joins us. What do you have coming up on Chit Chat?
Well, good morning, friends. Lots coming up. The Buffalo Bills are not going to be in the Super Bowl. I just had to get that in there. But the Super Bowl's coming up, and we're starting to get some previews of some of the big commercials, including the famous Budweiser commercial. I know Brian's going to like this one. So we'll talk about that. Katy Perry's going on tour. Lady Gaga's got a new album. And the Baldwins, Alec Baldwin and his wife Hilaria? we'll figure that out by Chit Chat. They got a new show coming on TLC, so all that coming up in Chit Chat.
Okay. Very interesting. Thank you, Louie.
See you in a bit.
All right, our dollar is down 9 basis points to 69.45 cents U.S. Gold is up $8.60 an ounce, and crude is 25 cents higher this morning to $73.42 a barrel. In midday, European trading markets are up across the board in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
In Asia, the markets were down triple digits in Tokyo today, but up in Hong Kong. Markets in Shanghai were closed for the Chinese New Year. North American markets really slid yesterday, led by deep losses in tech. We'll have more on that in just a moment. So the TSX was down 179 points. The Dow gained 289, and the tech-heavy NASDAQ dropped by more than 600 points. But NASDAQ futures this morning show a bit of a rebound.
So why were North American markets down? Stock markets were rattled by a frenzy over an artificial intelligence chatbot made by Chinese tech startup DeepSeek. DeepSeek's AI assistant became the top downloaded free app on Apple's iPhone store as customers were curious about ChatGPT's competition. Some U.S. tech industry observers worry over the idea that the Chinese startup has caught up with American companies at the forefront of generative AI, but at a fraction of the cost. Hype and misconceptions about DeepSeek's technology advancements sowed confusion as tech companies like NVIDIA saw their stock drop as much as 18%.
U.S. Federal Reserve is expected to keep its key interest rate unchanged this week after a policy meeting. It came a few days after the new president, Donald Trump, said he would soon be demanding lower interest rates. Policymakers have said that the pace of rate cuts will slow down this year after officials cut their rates 3 times in a row. So the rate in the U.S. is now sitting at about 4.3%, down from a 2-decade high of 5.3%, with several recent economic reports showing healthy hiring and some progress on U.S. inflation. Now, back in this country, the Bank of Canada is widely expected to cut its key policy rate by 0.25% to 3% tomorrow.
Trump says Microsoft is among the U.S. companies interested in taking control of TikTok to avoid a ban set for April. When asked if Microsoft was one of the companies interested in helping to bring about a new ownership of TikTok, Trump said he would say yes. He added that other companies were also interested but did not provide a list. In one of his first acts in office, Trump extended TikTok's deadline to find new ownership that satisfies the government by 75 days, pushing it to early April from January 19th. The Trump administration first proposed banning TikTok in 2020, citing national security concerns.
Starbucks is rolling out a few changes ahead of their quarterly earnings expected later today. So first off, a tweak to the name. It will now be known as Starbucks Coffee Company. Chain is also bringing back some policies taking away during the pandemic. Milk and sweetener stations are back, and baristas will be handwriting customers' names on cups using Sharpies. In addition, free refills on some orders will be available to all paying customers. That's a perk that was only once reserved for loyalty program members. And Starbucks won't let anyone hang out or use its restrooms without making a purchase. Starbucks CEO says the goal is to bring back the coffee house vibe that's faded in the past few years.
A brand of tahini is being recalled in Canada over possible salmonella contamination. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says Al-Watan tahini was distributed in Ontario. No illnesses have been reported. The recall affects 18-kilogram bags. Food contaminated with salmonella bacteria does not usually look, smell, or taste spoiled. Anyone with weakened immune systems are at a higher risk of serious illness.
Okay, we're taking a break right now. Brian's going to be back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast. More snow on the way.
And away we go into this Tuesday morning, 28th of January, 6:24 is the time. Checking some MTO traffic cameras. You can see the shine on the highways from the light snow we had last night. QEW Ontario Street, nothing happening in traffic. Same with Nikola Tesla Boulevard. We'll flip ahead to north of 2. So this is coming off the Skyway. You're going from the Skyway toward Fairview Street. It's getting a little bit slow right there. Nothing at the Ford plant. All the way through Cawthra. Yeah, it's still fairly busy through here. And of course, you've got all that construction, which is coming to an end, but at least it's rolling. But be really careful as you roll this morning, because you want to be rolling and not sliding, because we do have had some snow, 2 to 4 centimeters throughout the overnight. Checking our temperatures right now, -7 for Hamilton. That has just fallen by a couple of degrees. Wind chill right now, -14. -6 Grimsby, -8 for Mississauga and Toronto. Yep, the crews are out today. Let them do their job. They're clearing the roads and making them a little safer. So those are sometimes our seasonal temperatures and our records for today. And yeah, we are expecting a little blast of snow for later on. For school today, we should be -7 for the first bell, a little bit of sun, and then -5 for after school. And there's that next blast of snow that's going to come in. Oh, speaking of snow, what we had throughout the overnight hours, be careful. Stopping distances really change when we get snow, and of course ice need a lot longer to stop, so winter driving skills. So today we're going to climb to -3, wind chill -14. Tonight, late afternoon into the overnight, we could get another 2 to 4 centimeters as temperatures climb to +1. And then we're going to climb to +2 tomorrow, and then temperatures go down. We should hit -5 by later in the afternoon, and again, more flurries. 0 and sunny on Thursday, Friday, some sun, and then fairly cloudy for the weekend. And temperatures go up for Groundhog Day, stays cloudy, 3, and then +1 for Monday. That's your forecast. Kelly, Annette.
Thank you, Brian. CHCH is asking for your opinion. Our audience survey is back.
So last spring, 10,000 people filled out the survey and gave us lots of great ideas. This time the survey is diving a little bit deeper with new questions and fresh ideas. When you complete the survey, you'll be entered to win a $50 Amazon gift card. And you have until Sunday to take the survey. Head to chch.com/survey, or you can scan the QR code that's up on your screen right now. Okay, tomorrow is a big day. It marks the start of the Lunar New Year and the start of the Year of the Snake in the Chinese zodiac calendar.
Specifically, it's going to be the year of the wood snake. Since the 12 zodiac animals can also have different elements, snakes are known for wisdom, charm, and elegance. Tomorrow kicks off a celebration that will last 15 days. It ends with a lantern festival on February 12th. All right, stay with us. More to come after the break.